Hello, fellow swivel heads. This is Greg Allison with Green Gregs coming to you on the 27th of September 2020, the 5th anniversary of a certain agenda of the United Nations, number 2030. Yeah, the 5th anniversary thereof. And also there's something else coming out called the Great Reset by the World Economic Forum. What are these things? What's coming at us? Oh my gosh, we're going to get all into that. We live in times of great uncertainty. And something I'm going to be emphasizing in the future in another video is that, a lot of the things that happen today may just be a distraction while the real control regime has been set up. Bear that in mind. But we are to the point of great civil strife. Some people are talking about civil war and potentially world war. Things are really hot inside and outside. Economic collapse, Great Depression, recession, inflation, stagflation, prices drop. I mean, it's like 52 card pickup. I mean, it's all over the place. This year's a mess. But I need not tell you that, right? Why soil heads? Because I tell everybody on this channel, keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. Keep an eye on what's coming up. And this is part of my Head on the Swivel news series that I'm bringing to you to help you see the things that may be coming up. It is a proposition on my channel to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. All these things in mind. We're going to talk about this agenda of the certain agency, the United Nations, known as 2030. And I'm saying things carefully because even though these things are official and are on those websites, I have to be careful. If I just come out and say it right off, I could get banned. Maybe it's possible. Or, this platform is somewhat less than totally amenable to speech that fits within the paradigms of certain documents you see me promoting a lot, like what you might find in the First Amendment. Okay, where did I put it? That. Yeah, this. So let's wind our way through here carefully and bring to you the ideas of what's before us. Before I do that, you need to know that indeed we are in perilous times, and it is time to get ready. If you're not prepping, Lord help you. So right now, there's, I've been talking about potential food shortages. When you look at the derecho, whatever we call it, they hit Iowa. When you look at how it swept the Midwest, all the losses there. Hey, they just blew up a dam in China, took out 10,000 more acres of grain. Look, China's having stupendous problems in both the Yellow River and the Yangtze River basins. Their two main food production areas have been swamped spring and all summer and into the fall with floods, and they're not relenting. So their food production is going to be highly challenged. They're buying up everything they can on the global market, which will raise prices and create shortages there. So I'm expecting there to be a price inflation, prices may really go up, and to be availability challenges coming up. We've talked about that quite a bit. So with all that in mind, I would tell you that you might want to check this deal out. We've got a real good special deal. Hey, you can get 4 weeks off. I mean, $100 off a 4-week supply of really good food with 3 meals a day, 2,000 calories. Look at this. This is dehydrated, so you can carry it in buckets. It lasts 25 years. 4 weeks, 2,000 calories a day per person. You can't beat that. And look at the price. $100 off right now is very affordable. Now that price cannot be expected to hold, but the $100 off is going to stay. So I would get it as soon as I could while the prices are good like that. I've got mine. Get yours. This is awesome. 3 meals, 2,000 calories a day, breakfast, dinner, lunch. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, however you count that. And quite a variety to include breakfast, to include desserts and drinks. So check that out. Also, you can get other prepping supplies. My Patriot Supply, just click the link right there, and it takes you in to where you can get water filtration, survival items, survival gear, cooking gear, lighting, stoves. Hey, these are the things you need. First aid, survival books, so you can study surviving. emergency food, all kind of other deals on emergency food, air purification. And all this helps me. If you come in through prepwithgreg.com and then go in this way, that really helps me in my channel. So let's get into what's going on. Bam, right here we are. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this well, but we, the heads of state of government and high representatives, meeting at the United Nations headquarters in New York from 25 to 27 September 2015. As the organization celebrates its 70th anniversary, have decided today on new sustainable development goals. Indeed, today is the 5th anniversary of this agenda. It is the one that we talk about, 20, there it is. Yes, transforming our world. And they had set out to do it in just 15 years. Oh yeah, there's a vision, their goals sound great. Sounds wonderful. Sounds lovely. Let me come down here. So there's a lot here in this website. This is, you know, sustainabledevelopment.un.org. You can see up there. But going down here into this, sustainable development goals. Goal 1, end poverty in all forms, everywhere. 2, end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages, or for all at all ages. 4, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. All this stuff sounds good. They love us so much. It all sounds good, every word of it, until you start really considering what this is behind. And the way to really find it, and so you can go on down through and everything looks good here. But you know, the best traps are set with the best bait. Don't forget that. Do not forget that, because what have you got to give up to get this? People, population. Is that part of what you got to give up? Well, look at that. Maybe, maybe not, but some funny things in this web of what's before us. But it is a web of control. Everything, if you look at all the trends, it's all vectored toward bigger and bigger state, more and more control, less independence. See what you've seen. Well, we'll go to the Great Reset. Hang on, we'll look at this a little bit more. So here we are in this website. They've got a lot of other places you can click up here and look at all their other little things, resources, topics. Some of them are kind of cutely graphed out. Okay, I don't want to do that. Sustainable water, water ration decade. You can come over here to home. This is the actual home page of this thing. Yeah, I got all this good looking stuff on here. Oh yeah, look here. 17 goals. There they are, looking graphic. Looks nice, looks pretty. Sounds great. Tastes great, less filling. Eat all you want, never gain a pound. Life and land. All right, you know, if all things were equal, this might be great and wonderful. I think you can attain these goals and do more with whole different methodologies. And we'll talk about that toward the end too. So, yeah, just look at that. I will share links to this. So, and also here's this other thing out there. The Great Reset. What is that? The Great Reset, World Economic Forum. See, these are world outfits. The Great Reset. There is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of a certain bug crisis to improve the state of the world. So the bug is the linchpin. It is the initiator to launch all of this stuff. How? You know, for Pete's sake. You know, think about this. This thing came on us pretty heavy. It was taking a lot of people early on, seemed to be. But, you know, it got my older brother. It did. But, you know, the rates of people getting planted in the ground seem to have gone dramatically down. Whereas the infection as this thing spread around, has certainly abounded. But but now I'm hearing stories of new lockdowns in Europe, big time, and there's talk that may be coming here. So what's all this mean? So this is all this stuff in here, is all this control they're talking about is based on that. How energy can help drive the post-bug recovery. So it's all related to the bug. Isn't that interesting? And the bug has been a huge economic reset in the sort already, because we've shut companies down, which is most unfortunate. I'm going to return to that part again. And if you go in here, there's something I was wanting to show you. There is a great reset dialogue. There's so much in here. You know, they got their little video here you can click on. It all sounds so great and wonderful. What we got to do to deal with all our problems today, and they've got all the answers. So yeah, here we go. Let's just click on one of these. I think they all come up. Okay, not that time. Yeah, there's one thing that's got several little. Yeah, pardon me. There's so many things to click on, so many of these areas. But here we go. This is where I was wanting to go. Common pass. What's common pass? Traveling the world in this certain era. Well, you might imagine this is tracking you, your health status information and everything. So is this what you need to get around, to travel in this day and time? And yeah, they are in this video. If you check this video, they are talking about taking things that some people would not want to take. You know, the great, we got a huge number of people don't want no part of that, but that is what this is really pushing. See that? Common pass. Well, how do you get the common pass? How do you qualify? Well, figure it out for yourself. I'm not going to say, because that would be, just go check it out. Here it is. Here's the website. This is all out there. It's for anybody to see. I'm going to show you websites. I mean, that's what I'm doing here. Boom. There it is. I mean, all you got to do is type in the Great Reset, World Economic Forum, and it'll pop it up. WEFORUM.org/great-reset. I mean, gosh, guys, that's not hard. So, wow, there it is. What does that mean? Well, if you go back to, I'm going to have to shoot some of this stuff down a little bit. If you go back to here and look under the 2030, look what it cites. Look at this thing. Remember this? The A2 eins. Dos uno. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be very careful what I say. You know, look at that. So it's citing this thing. That's the foundation this is built upon. So if you know anything about that, that relates to this. And if you, the way to find out what these things are really intended to be is to go read what the writers of these things, the people that attended this, what they actually write, what they're personally promoting on the side. And some of that stuff is real eye-grabbing. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but to know where they're really coming from, what they really want to do, it can be scary. So let's go over to this one. I got one ahead of myself here. So here it is. Sustainable Development, UN.org. So we're back to that same sustainable development. That just sounds great. Back to that same basic website, and here is the plan. Bingo, right there it is. This is it. This is real. It is there. It's all laid out, quite bare, at least at the top level. And again, it all sounds nice and wonderful. But according to articles I've read and things I've seen, apparently it is the plan. I've read things through here where they're saying that a lot of things are not sustainable, things that we take for granted every day. One of which being air conditioning. Hey guys, who wrote that? Have you lived in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana? We invented air conditioning down here, and there's a reason. We call it a life support system. Oh my gosh. So they say all these things that we take for granted are unsustainable. It's a wide list. And what these reports purport to do is change every facet of your life. Oh, nothing is purported to be unsustainable, private property. So it's alleged that the plan is to take everybody off their farms, off the rural properties. Although some places they talk about small farmers, yeah, but you know, China has small farms too, right? But they don't belong to farmers per se, because nobody owns property per se. You have to get rich people in big mansions. So I don't know. But then again, I have often asserted that China is not really a communist country. It's quite the opposite. But neither of those two are pretty pictures. So I'm not advocating either one. So here we are. You can check these out and you can read them. Hey, and if on the surface what they say, yeah, it might be okay. Except this whole thing of private property and that I was mentioning, that would really concern me. But there are maps that were drawn up for related programs, like this this one here that many of you have seen, the Wildlands Project. And according to that, basically these red areas would be the only places where people would be permitted. No, I think I'm backwards on that. Let's see. That's the core reserves and corridors. Okay, that's where corridors for wildlife, pardon me, and wildlife preserves. So all that red is wildlife preserves. The yellow is buffer zones, highly regulated use, and the purple is a border zone, and you got to go on down to find the zones that people can actually live in according to this. So as you can see, this chart alleges that it would depopulate the western states. So I can get this to come up. Yeah, here's a, and you can see here what they pertain about the two agendae. They say there's no difference, at least on this site. And I will shut this site down for now because I got it open in another spot. But you can come in and you know, this is just where, say I searched on that. I just put that word in Google and all this stuff pops up, which includes lots of articles about it, pro, con, whatever. So you can see for yourself, that's those goals that we talked about a minute ago. You can see the cover of the report, basically what used to be the cover. It's on our website now. And there's other things, human access denied, it says. Regions where people will not be permitted to go. Imagine what our lives would be like in the reign of, I don't know. This is 2050, you know, get everybody in these corridors and mega cities and showing how they could be connected and how they would get, you know, be able to get transportation between them, rail transportation, no less. Well, rail is more efficient than air, really. So there's a lot of maps here that purport a lot of this stuff, Trans-American passenger networks. So, you know, that don't mean any of this will take place. This is some of the plans of certain people. That doesn't mean that they get their way or that they all are totally in agreement with all the things written. Some may be, some may not be, but there is a general trend, big general trend. This is the Wildlands Network. You can find this. This is all out here. Now, this has some good, valid validity to it. You know, populations of certain animals like big cats, they need to be able to breed with each other. Or you know, when we got them all cut off, I mean, we got these interstates cutting our country to ribbons, and you can't go through those big fences. So it doesn't really make it amenable for species to be able to breed and develop normally. They're going to get genetic issues if they're not able to mix. So there's some validity to this, but you can accomplish this in other ways, like building bridges over wildlife bridges over interstates, or maybe tunnels underneath, or making the interstate itself a bridge or tunnel over a wildlife corridor. So there is, you can see rewilding. And here's a picture of just such a construct. That's a wildlife bridge corridor right over the interstate. Okay, cool. And you know, that can be done, and it's got its value. It costs money, but you know, wildlife has its own heritage, its own place, and so I'm not opposed to that. here's that site there. Who's this guy? Did I stop the share? I guess I did. So I hope y'all been seeing the stuff I was skipping through. Let me go back in here to share screen again. There we go. Yeah, I have to minimize my screen somewhat to move around because, oh my God, it overdid it. What happens here on Zoom is it's got a big pull down menu, and every time I reach up to grab the tabs on Google, that big pull down menu just goes right over the top of them. So it kind of makes it awkward to use when you're looking at some of these websites. Well, we're going to show a couple of stuff, and we're going to talk about this stuff a little bit. What does it all really mean? Well, I'm assuming a lot of you have heard of the Georgia Guidestones. Somebody saw fit to develop these monuments, and supposedly it's right on a ley line and got all these dimensions to other sites of antiquity, but there just wasn't such a place in America, and someone selected this site to match that. Hey, I don't know. It's written in 8 languages. And there it is. It's also known as American Stonehenge. And this is in Georgia. And I actually shipped worms to a location about a mile from this place. So my little worms may be escaping and undermining these monuments as we speak. Oh yeah, I have my ways of casting my spells. Yes, I am undermining it as we speak remotely with my little worm force. So there you go. But Greg, wow, what is it? What is it? Well, this thing has inscriptions written in 8 languages. It's got a lot of attributes to this. I'm not going to go into them all. You can read them yourself. Some people are somewhat less than happy with it, as you can see by this post in here. And maybe for a really good reason. I mean, it's got certain things here. Let me scroll down. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. A one world language. Obliterate all languages but one. What about cultural diversity? What about cultural maintenance? Rural passion, faith, tradition. Rural tradition. All things with tempered reason. Protect people and nation with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. World. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Hey, now I like that. Balance personal rights with social duties. Yeah, we should do that. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Hey, I agree with that. Be not the cancer on earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. But what do you got to do to leave room for nature? There's item number 1. Maintain humanity at under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So never let humanity go beyond 500 million. How many people are there today? Oh, here we are. This is the worldometer. Worldometer.info/world population. And right now we're pushing up toward 8 billion people. I did this little calculation a little earlier. I hope this thing is still being shared. Yeah. I did a little calculation a little earlier. And maybe I should share my thermometer. No, I won't share the. If you divide, you will find out that what that would lead you to about 15.63 people. That if you had 15.63 people, only one could survive. That means that almost 16. So if you had 16 people, only one would be left. So 15 out of 16 people would just have to go. That's almost everybody you know. The vast majority of the people you know. How do you know you're going to be one of those? One out of the 15 or one out of the 16 left standing? What gives you that grace? Oh, Greg, but I'm in like Flint. I am really a big wheel in this. I'm a big kahuna. I'm doing everything to promote, bring in the song. They're going to love me. Or you may say, Greg, this ain't true. This ain't true. First I say, you think they're really going to love you? Who do they really love? That's a good question. Who do they really? They love us all, don't they? I mean, look at all the beautiful language they write over in these reports and agendae. They love us all. They love us so much. I find this interesting. Here is a little website. You may have seen this before. Deagle.com. What is this site? Somebody showed a house in Europe, that supposedly this site comes out of on, but this has been out here for years, and it seems to track things like orders for military and aviation equipment. And you'll see here, U.S. Air Force awards, contract, Netherlands request sale of, French Army orders. It seems to track sales more than anything. India successfully test fires laser-guided anti-tank missile. First F-39 Gripen flies in Brazil. So it's just on and on about this. U.S. Army Chinook. Greg, why are you showing us this? Well, okay, I'll show you. This seems to be just a regular old defense-oriented website, right? Yeah, it looks pretty boring if you're not in the defense marketing industry until you click this little thing called countries. Bam. List of countries in 2017. So this is 2017 data for countries, and this is population, so this is in the millions. So you got 1,000 million or billion here, almost 1.4 as of 2017 billion Chinese. The United States had not 1,000 million, but 326 million. Pretty good. Then that's what India had. And so this is not ranked by population. This is ranked by apparently the GDP or something here. So this shows various, you can click on them and see what those metrics are. So, okay, that's cool. Well, all right, we all know the country. Oh, what's this? Forecast 2025. Just 5 years from now. What's the forecast? Let's see what we're going to be. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow, populations. Oh, China's not changed much. Down a little bit. India up. Russia down a little bit. Brazil up. Brazil's looking good here all the way across. Indonesia not too bad. The economy going down a little bit. Japan's down. But who's really down? United States of America. Wow. Down to 99 million people. What is this? What is this? Well, they claim this is from CIA and other reports, so they go into great explanation. They used to not have any explanation down here why they come up with these numbers. And now they readjust them. And now they got after the bug, we can draw major conclusions. But they're keeping the same numbers. The certain crisis will be used as to extend life of this dying economic system through the Great Reset. Whoa! Great Reset is back. Holy smokes, the Great Reset. Wow. So, the system is another attempt to slow down dramatically the consumption of natural resources. Oh, that's what the Great Reset's for. Yeah, if you go back and look in the World Economic Forum, one of those pages, it says, oh yeah, that's great because we're putting out less carbon emissions now that we've closed everything down. That we need to keep it there. We need to keep it there. Does that mean we keep the shutdown just to keep these goals in place? Why are we shutting down? Really? What is the real answers? It's control. So boy, it's hard to know how to interpret this stuff, and all this could just be a bunch of hooey. As we used to like to say around here, a bunch of hooey. It could be, but this has been out here for years, and they don't change it. They've maintained this. They've kept it. Earlier on, they said it was based on CIA estimates, and they changed the story again and said, well, it's because Americans are going to be fleeing the United States and going elsewhere. But you don't see any countries nearby that's absorbed the difference in population. So that don't wash. So what is this? Maybe it's just nothing. But it fits with this. and the Great Reset. So maybe it makes it easier if you got so few people. Maybe it makes it easier to maintain the 17 goals. If suddenly you've got rid of 15 out of 16 people, then amongst what's left, it might be easier to do these things. So maybe that's the grand plan. I mean, when you see what's written on the Guidestones, you know, you look at all the things under number one. If you don't look at number one, all it's great and wonderful. But when you go back and look at number one, you go, it's ghastly. It's heinous. Now, the UN believes over time our population will reach a peak and then just start dropping off because they think the whole world will get more like Western societies and have less and less kids. And then it might be a challenge to maintain a population. Well, that's true. Could be that. But it's also, but I don't think they want to wait. Why do they make all these agendas with numbers that are like right now? You know, but you know, why is that projection deal 5 years from now? Why is the other thing a plan for something to happen 10 years from now? And it's based on something that happened 5 years ago. They wrote it 5 years ago, and now they have 10 years ago to put it all in place. So maybe this is why they're all wrapped up. This is they're feeling an emergency to get there. And they got a certain impediment and a certain administration which doesn't seem to want to play ball with them. And so they don't like that. Now, I believe in freedom. I believe in individual choice. I believe in individuals having sovereignty. But what's happened in the world today is we have seen, especially with the bug, which has taken us already into something. I mean, this is, you know, they're talking about, you know, hitting the restart button. One of these pages actually shows, you know, button, you know, a restart button. If you go through and click all these different pages, maybe it's one of these down here. Well, there's a list of them in here, but yeah, big restart button. Maybe they think we haven't hit it yet. Maybe we're on the way. Maybe that's what that they may be saying. We've got to do that to get things under control. That's really what they're saying. Control. Again, it goes back to control. You know, guys, think about this. What's happened? Small businesses have been getting put out of business left and right. Small guys are going out of business. Small farmers, small tradesmen, small artisans, small shops, restaurants. Who's in business? Amazon, Walmart, the big guys. They're doing better. You know, the top trillionaires in the world made, you know, about $1 trillion here over the course of this thing, because suddenly all the business went to them. And even the bailouts, they're talking about sending everybody another check, low check for, you know, $1,200. You got one a few weeks ago. Look how much the big companies got. Yeah, you see how the deck is stacked? It doesn't matter whether it's Republicans or Democrats in charge. They both support stacking the deck that way. Ah, why is that? Because you're being played, my friends. You're being played. It's all about control. It's about ratcheting more control at the higher levels. And those that don't go along with the control are vilified very extremely through the news media and every means possible. They're vilified and attacked. But here's what you need to know, what you need to do. You need to vote with your dollar. And with your dollar, that's the most powerful vote you got. You need to go buy from your local artisans, your local tradespeople, your local plumber. I don't mean the one who's got the big shop, the big ads. I mean the mom and pop guy, the one who's being put out of business by all the regulations in the cities. You go to the big shops, you're gonna get some snot-nosed kid, probably, who don't know jack and dink about anything, but his company can spread the overhead cost easier of all the approvals and certifications they have to have, as opposed to that, you know, 55-year-old guy who knows everything about the systems, down to every little solenoid and what's reliable and not, and can fix your system pronto, versus the guy's going to, you know, charge you more labor, higher labor rate, and then on top of that, tell you got to replace a $10,000 system when it was really a $5 solenoid, you know, that might have been the problem. So there you have it. There you have it. So that's why you need to vote for the local. You need to go to small farmers. Some of those things under those agendae talk about helping small farmers, tribal, and blah, 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 blah. But that's not the trend. The trend has been forcing them out of business. And it's been, oh, you got to buy these seed. You got to buy them every year. You can't farm unless you know, the way you've been farming for decades, you've been supporting your family. Oh, but that don't work anymore. But you got to get on board. You get so much more productive. What's happened? Farmers in India have been committing suicide because they couldn't afford to rebuy the seeds and the agreements they'd signed up to, whereas they've been surviving for generations without it and producing plenty of food. So I'm here to tell you this. North American lawns by themselves, 42 to 47 million acres. If you grow food on, like the Vase family, you can feed 2 billion people from our lawns in North America alone. Doing it organically, not taken from the environment. Greg, you know, some of the things people say, well, it's going to take a lot of labor, but also, hey, well, we're not going to have any jobs. We're not going to have any jobs. All our jobs are all robots going to replace everything. Really? No, we can do plenty. And furthermore, I've got several videos on my habitat design. That habitat's got 0 environmental footprint, and you're not going to need so many. You can work in your home, make a living out of your home. You're not going to have to travel so much. You're not going to need the roads, the infrastructure, the power systems, the highways, and all the stuff we need in our society today. You can meet all those goals and still have freedom and individuality without going to some big global system to coordinate it all. And a global system is not sustainable, because eventually the sun will throw out a CME that will take out everything, including all their stuff. And then that's the eggshell, and it will break and shatter. And because you didn't build it from the ground up to be truly resilient, it will fall apart. You know, see, their answer is not having small farmers growing organically, as they say, but watch what they do, not what they say, how they implement it, what they've been doing, what their trends are. Look who the big guys that's funding all this stuff, where they're putting their money. Fake meat, false meat, big agri, you know, GMOs. They're putting more and more money in that. They're putting more and more money into the seeds the farmers have got to buy into big, mega big ag. Because they don't want anybody to be self-sufficient. They want everybody to be a suck up, to be owned by the system. And that's why this is part of your route to freedom, is to vote with your dollar. That's the most important thing you can do. I've said this in several videos. I'll say it again now. Don't support the trend toward ism of global. I said it backwards there, if you know what I mean. So those of you who really want to support freedom, I've started the Freedom Restoration Foundation. I've got guys from New York, Washington State, Arizona, Alabama, Wisconsin so far in terms of the governance of the organization. We've got people already coming in who want to be involved from other states. Right now, I'm using this temporary website or email, hal5space@aol.com. I do have the URL reserved. We got to get the website set up. Guys, we're busy. We got a lot going on. We are getting a list down. We got a new volunteer working these lists. If you're interested in the survival tribes, put tribe in the head. Use that email address. Put tribes in the subject line. If you're interested in the Freedom Restoration Foundation, put freedom. If you're interested in both, put freedom and tribes. We're trying. We're working it. We're doing what we can. I hope this organization can make a big difference, because you know that's what we're about. And we're also working on the Survival Tribes Networks. Yeah, we got a little late start on it because we just have a lot going on. We've had a lot of people writing letters because we're worried about things being mandatory that we don't want to be mandatory, if you know what I'm talking about. There's things like that that's worried a lot of our members quite considerably. And so we're quite active on a lot of fronts. And me, I'm super busy. I got a day job. I got 2 YouTube channels, one lacking real bad, and I'm still behind on my taxes and got other issues. And I haven't started selling worms again yet because I still am working to get caught up. But this is important, and I need to get these words out to you guys. And that's why I'm doing this video. It's to help get these words out to you so you know what's going down. Today is the 5th anniversary of this thing. Bingo, right here. Swansis Thrices 22030. So that is yeah, today is the 5th anniversary, and we're on the precipice. Can I say it right? Precipice of this, the Great Reset. Oh my gosh! And I mentioned that over here. See, these things might be interlocking, they might be referencing each other, but it could be totally coincidental. And this could be totally coincidental. I mean, gosh, they got some nice stuff in it because they love us so much. Until you look at that one, you gotta wonder what kind of love this really is. I'll leave it to you to figure that out. A lot of you will say, Greg, that's all great and wonderful. I totally support it. I'm sure some of you do. And some of you will tell me that and say, Greg, that's all great and wonderful. I get those kind of comments. So, yeah, if to make it through, we've got to get rid of 15 out of 16 people, I got an issue. If they want to take us all off our land and put us in homes that are rack and stack by the railroad track, just down from the smokestack, yeah, I got an issue with that. If that's how they get the people down. Yeah, that's part of what they're talking about. Is putting people in rack and stack ISO shipping container type homes next to the railroad track, literally, because it's more efficient transportation to where? The smokestack? I don't know. I bet they love us so much. They really do. I mean, gosh, you know, equitable. Everybody, nobody being in poverty. Oh, if you go back to one of those websites where they're talking about everybody being in poverty, if you read it, the poverty level is established at $1.25 a day. So if everybody in the world makes over $1.25 a day, the goal is reached. Let's see if we can find that. The one on poverty. The goal is reached if you make over $1. Which one is poverty? In poverty, goal 1. Let's see. Here we go. There it is. Guys, I don't make this up. I don't make this stuff up. Here it is. This is on their website of the Nations United, headquartered in New York City. It says, currently measured as people living at less than $1.25, $1.25 a day. So if everybody in the world makes $1.26 a day, they make their goal. Holy smoke. And if you reduce the population to, 500 million, hey, wow, we spend a lot more money than that. Easy, right? Guys, what are they really saying here? What is this really? Of course, one way to do all this is to get everybody down to the same low denominator. But do you think everybody's going to be there? Do you think the people that are promoting this agenda are going to be there? No, they're going to be way up here. What happens when somebody's got control and lots of power and they got a market like Microsoft? What do they want to do? They want to kill all the competitors out of the market. Remember doing that video about the walnut tree and how it puts out toxins in the ground to stop its competitors? That's what they all want to do. They want to stop their competitors. They want to make sure that nobody else can climb up the ladder. So private enterprise don't exist in terms of true capitalism. The competitive part is gone. What makes capitalism great is competition. But when it becomes a corporatocracy, and when the big guys can legislate and change it, but the little guys cannot make it up there, then you have something completely different. Corporatocracy, Nazi, maybe, that's where we're going if we don't watch it. And a lot of these people out protesting are really promoting this system without realizing what it is they're promoting. And they call themselves anti-fascist, but are they really anti? Or are they pro? And they just don't know. Where's this going to go? You tell me. I'm just asking questions, letting you think for yourselves. That's what you should do. You should think for yourselves. Don't take my word on any of this. Don't. In fact, I'm not much declaring anything here. I'm just pointing out websites and asking questions. What does it mean? You tell me. Leave your comments below in the session below. And oh yeah, go to my links below my channel because you really need to grow your garden. Check out True Leaf Market. I'm not going to show you that today, but check out True Leaf Market. Heirloom seeds, microgreen seeds. You can do that. So let me stop this share. Bam, so you can see me. Hello. So my friends, we really are in a pickle. With all the stuff going around us, they won't even put this great reset in place. Now, World Economic Forum isn't the total authority of the world. I mean, we still have the global strife with the country of China, and other countries, Iran, I should say. Pardon me. The nation of Iran and us are in great tension again right now, and we are in great tension internally with the new nominations for with the hearings will be going on for the new nomination for the Supreme Court, with all these things, the election cycle coming up. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So you need to get ready. You need to prepare. I will do more on this. But so that I know that you've watched this video for this length segment, Greg, the best vote is the dollar. Of course, that don't mean you shouldn't go to the polls and vote. I do believe that too. But this way I'll know you watched, because it's a long video. Anyway, my friends, with all that, I'm going to say thank you for watching.